Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Sileo, Tales of New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on the channel. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $5 a month or $54 a year. So, the last Let's Play. Basically, we were looking for, woods, because the wood we had was all soaked, but then it turned out to be a little bit of a fun game of using your nose and also helping Ty find wood, because Ty was well prepared, but he wanted sexy times. It do be like that. Sometimes. Also, that is a humongous sun in the background. Just saying. I'm not sure if there's ways, I guess you could play with the camera if you're very far away and had a very good zoom, so you could make things look comparatively small. I'm not sure, but dear goodness. No life would exist on this planet with the sun that big. It's also kind of like shows where there's a huge moon that is the size of the city. It's like, there's been sometimes where I've seen a big, moon, and it's like, that's pretty big, but not that big. But anyways, sorry. Diatribes? No. Set face. And continue. Like in soaps and shampoos, clean ourselves of the evidence of our indiscretions was harder than anticipated. We barely managed to free our fur of sticky clumps by the time the sun reached the very edge of the horizon, demanding our immediate return to the camp, should we wish to see the sunset. Desperately shaking the water from our fur, I returned Ty's sunglasses to him, and the two of us briskly redressed ourselves before quickly departing in the direction of our camp. On approach, Ty spotted Axel and Russell watching the sunset, facing away from us. Seeing this opportunity, Ty stealthily pranced into the camp and approached his bag, quickly retrieving the spare set of clothing to replace the sweater vest, which from his position on the offending tree branch, had acquired several suspicious white splotches in our foray. Wait, why did the shirt get cum covered? It wasn't anywhere near us. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention. Yes, we were both naked. Well, yeah. Unless a main character didn't take off his shirt. Having successfully changed in record time, he then collected the spare set of fire-making supplies before rapidly assembling the campfire in the middle of our campsite. Ta-da! One campfire as promised. Also, biker looking. Oh wow! You found the stuff. Great job. Nice work, dads. I simply cannot take any credit. After all, this was Adrian here, who did all the hard work. Thanks, Adrian. What? Oh, yeah. Thanks. I was hard. I did hard. We got hard work. Yeah, hard wood. Hey, when did you change your clothes? Well, you see, much like our dear friend Axel here, I too have tumbled into a river today. You fell in too? Indeed. That will teach me not to watch where my step. That's kinda sus, dude. It's kinda cap, I think. Is it no cap or cap? That's a funny one, dude. I can't believe he did that. I wonder where no cap comes from. Like, where do you get cap? I feel included. Hold on, then why is Adrian's fur wet? Well, simply because he, with zero hesitation, hopped right in to rescue me. But is clothes dry? Well, naturally, he tore his off beforehand. He did not bring a spare set. You see? Right, Adrian? Oh, yeah. I was butt-ass naked, but wait, we're in different clothes right now. We're in like, is it called a wife beater? What's a tank top? I'm sure. I think those are wife beaters. Kinda sus, dude. Man, you're like such a thoughtful dude, Adrian. Indeed he is. Such a handsome and totally nude young man coming to my rescue. He's truly my hero. Axel started to laugh, followed promptly by Russell. Ty and I then quickly joined in, a bit somewhat nervously as we prayed that the terrible bluff had sufficiently fooled our companions. As cheerful laughter followed freely from our group, we each took our positions among the outer edge of the outcrop of our campsite that was situated in order to get the best possible view of the sunset. And Ty was completely right. The view was incredible. Now here's a question that all of a sudden just popped into my head. When is it alright to stare at the sun? Like, they say sunsets are, fine to stare at, but you don't want to look straight up at the sun, because you don't want to be the person that calls himself president but isn't the president. But anyways, actually it really does depend on when this comes out. But anyways, yeah. It's like, at what angle is it fine to look at the sun? Because I feel like at this point, minus the fact that the planet is very close to the sun right now, I feel like at this point, it would be fine to look at the sun, right? He had taken position immediately to my right, so close that I could feel his mildly damp fur brush up against mine with every small motion. After several moments of silence, Ty turned his gaze towards me. I mean, come on, let's just... don't even have a brush of fur, just cuddle, unless we're all, like, wet and musky. I do hope you enjoyed yourself thus far. I am particularly cognizant of the fact that I'd never properly ascertained whether camping was your forte. If I didn't want to come, I would have said as much, and, this has been so much more enjoyable than I expected. The spot is beyond anything I could have imagined. I still can't believe you can see Cydonia from this far out, and I've never seen such an amazing sunset. Ty reached up to his face, removing his glasses and tucking them away in his pocket, before turning back to me, his violet eyes shining in the evening light. Woodcrest is full of beautiful locations like this, not quite so remote. However, I'm in the position that this is one of the very finest, and you deserve nothing less. I looked up towards Ty, his warm and tender smile giving me butterflies as we locked eyes. We both leaned in closer to one another before sharing a loving kiss. Gay! Sorry. Aw, so cute! You're making out. Ax, you're ruining the moment. But I... Axel, making words properly to explain what I was feeling, instead failed to suppress a dramatic squeak, something that set Russell into a fit of laughter. Looks like our spectators are enjoying the show. I fear that if we were to keep this up, Axel may burst like an overinflated balloon. I laughed, imagining poor Cheetah exploding like some kind of cartoon character, in spite of her being all that remained where he once stood. Well, you could probably find that on E621. Inflation porn, Cheetah, da-da-da. Granted, I do have Cheetah porn with me. But I like femboys. But also my guy was a femboy in that one, too. Anyways. Just look at Dark Wolf E621. Because, I've changed names over the past decades. Well, I'm both names, but still. I then returned to focus to the horizon, watching as the last slivers of sun disappeared behind Cydonia, casting gargantuan shadows across the landscape below. Hey, Ty? Thank you. Today's been amazing. We should do this again sometime. In the final moments of the evening light, I saw him smile brightly in response to my words, only for that smile to twist into a distinctive look of mischief. I'd love that, and who knows, maybe we'll have another unfortunate accident with firewood. The two of us shared a hearty laugh before Ty, still bearing his wide and handsome smile, reached his arm around my waist and slid me closer toward him as I nestled my nose into a soft chest. Bit by bit, the orange hues of the skyline faded, to be replaced only by the calming blues of the nighttime sky. Here's the thing, maybe it's because like all the nights were not on the... Like, I've never seen a sky like this. I've seen plenty of stars, but this seems like a lot of stars, just saying. Especially since, you know, they seem to be right next to a city. I mean, they're outside the city limits, but still, you can see this city. Also, the city seems extremely dark for some reason. I think I've seen the Milky Way. I don't know. All I know is that my eyes were like, there seems to be an illuminated patch right here, but it wasn't like... I mean, let me just look at, was it the Milky Way? Sorry. I mean, it kind of looked like that, but very much like if you darken it maybe 90% at least, I guess. Orange hues, nighttime sky. Until finally, our party finds itself immersed in darkness. I think this is our cue to start the fire. Would you not agree? After all the work we went through to get the materials, it would be a shame not to. I mean, it depends. How many nights do we have here? I think just one? I chuckled shyly at our inside joke before planting a quick peck on my cheek and climbed to his feet. I followed closely in his wake as he knelt down beside the fire before stealthily looking toward Axel and Russell once more. Russell was digging through his bag while Axel rolled up a previously damp sleeping bag and several pairs of clothing he'd been drying out in the evening sun. Seeing this opportunity, Tyre retrieved a lighter from his pack, using it to quickly ignite the bonfire as quickly and inconspicuously as possible. Is he trying to be like, hey, because I feel like if a lighter fell in the water, it would be fine after like a minute or two, right? Did you think there'd be a lighter there? Unless he's planning to be like, I'm an actual mountain man. Or like that one book, The Last American Man. I hated that book when I first read it, but then reflecting on it, I'm like, oh, this is actually quite interesting. Because, so, what is the book called? Sorry, I'm doing a whole bunch of diatribes. Sometimes do this. Yeah, that's the one. Because that book seems so... the author seems so infatuated with that person. And it's like, this is a guy who's very rough and strong. And then I think back about it, and I'm like, oh, this is a guy who's basically his father. Which is weird, because like, oh, and I'm not sure if that's what, our teacher was trying to get us to be like, but it's like, yeah, the way his father treated him, he treats his girlfriend. It's like, oh, man, pretty deep. Lovely, a terrific campfire, if I do say so myself. Yay. Whoa, you got that going in record time. Isn't he so talented? Please, you flatter me too much. Now I hope you boys are hungry. Wait, we haven't eaten. Ty circled the camp, collecting up various pieces of outdoor cookware we'd brought along with us before he began to assemble some sort of makeshift stovetop above the fire. He then retrieved a pan, a set of knives and chopping board, and a spatula. Whoa, Whenever Dom and I go camping, we always just bring a pack. We always just pack our meals. Real neat, huh, Axe? Or huh, Axe? It's like a totally portable kitchen. Come now, I can hardly do things in half measures. Russell would you mind hand me those vegetables? I believe I stowed them in your pack. Russell turned to his pack and reached within, retrieving the requested vegetables as Ty held out his hand expectantly. Russell stopped short of handing them over, however, instead holding his own hand out similarly. Hand over the knife, dude. Eh? Dude, I'm totally helping out. It's not fair. It's not like fair to expect you to do everything. Oh no. It's quite alright, I assure you. You should relax, enjoy the common atmosphere. Man, like, nah. You brought us out here, you're feeding us, and you even went out of your way to make sure we had a fire. I'm helping, dude. End of, Starman. Ty locked eyes, as we shared a smug grin. Alas, Ty had little choice to accept Russell's aid, lest he risk blowing our cover. He collected up our cutting board and the knives, passed them carefully to the shark. I can only concede and graciously accept your aid, then. If you would not mind chopping these vegetables, I'll get to work on the rest of the culinary tasks. Sorry. Axel, whatever you're sorry for. I want to help too, but, when Dom was teaching me how to make myself cheese toasties, I, set the kitchen on fire. Goodness me! Please, worry not. I want nothing more than for you to relax. And that goes for you too, Adrian. I have enough hands in the kitchen already. You're a pain in the ass sometimes, you know that? I think if anybody has been a pain in the ass today, it would be you, my dear. Dude! Huh? Oh, shut up. I gave Ty a playful smack in the arm, causing him to erupt in laughter once again, as Axel and Russell shared a look of mild confusion with one another. With Russell's expert assistance, it took the duo a little time to prepare our meals, some form of makeshift stir-fry, featuring a medley of vegetables and various different preserved meats, all brought to life by a delicate blend of herbs and spices. I found it somewhat amusing that even hours from civilization, I still ate better with Ty than I did back home at Diego, another of his many talents I was so incredibly grateful for, and something that I would benefit from greatly in the long run. Having finished our delicious meals, Ty had accidentally let slip the presence of his acoustic guitar, which resulted in both Axel and Russell applying pressure, supported by none other than yours truly. Come on, please. Just one song, my dude. That's like all we ask. Yeah, Ty, come on. Let's hear that sexy voice of yours. Dear oh dear, the three of you, utterly incorrigible. I suppose I can't rightly refuse now, can I? Ty chuckled and feigned reluctance, fooling nobody, as he playfully conceded to our demands. Very well, let me have some music. Yay! It's gonna be super cool. Ty retrieved a large black carry bag from his pack and removed the guitar from it before slinking it over his shoulder. He quickly checked that it was in tune, making small adjustments to the knobs on the hook. This is what I call Wonderwall. And request Wonderwall. I don't know much about people playing guitar stuff, but I feel or it was a meme for people back in my generation where it's like, hey, if you want to get with chicks, you play Wonderwall. And maybe not in all seriousness, but it's also kind of like that thing where it's people are whenever there's somebody brings a guitar out, they're gonna play Wonderwall because they want to get with chicks or something. I don't know. Never worked with me. Apparently got with dudes. It do be like that sometimes. Have you written songs since the Black Claws disbanded? Oh, to be honest with you, I have barely picked up my guitar since then. Things have been awfully busy. Oh, I see. But I did find the inspiration to write a song a while back. I never quite finished working on it, but nevertheless, I'd be happy to play it for you, should you wish. Yes, please. Yeah. Wonderful. Now then. Ty got himself into a comfortable position, his hand poised to begin playing. His song is about the loneliness of eternity. Ty began to play. The song beautifully sounds. The beautiful sounds of his instrument serenading our ears and sending a calming wave across the group. The effect only grew in intensity as he began singing, his powerful voice captivating his entire audience. What followed was a beautiful piece, exploring the fictional character who remained forever young as his peers fell prey to the persistent forward march of time. The man forced to watch everyone he knew and care for wither and die. A subversion of the typical desirability of mortality. Ty's song instead depicted us as a terrible and unwanted curse, the source of an unending eternity of misery and loneliness. It was a truly remarkable demonstration of Ty's incredible talent for songwriting. They could make this fictional character come to life in our minds, that he could relate to what he was feeling, even if it was merely a fabrication. The final note of Ty's masterpiece rang out through the silence of the night. Looking toward my companions, it became clear that he had not failed to tug at the heartstrings of each one of us, as evident by the tears on their faces. Ty looked from his guitar, smiling gently, and patiently waiting for the anticipation of our response. Feeling a degree of responsibility as Ty's partner, I spoke up first, with the hope that I would be speaking on behalf of us all. That was so beautiful. Such a cool idea for a sad song. Where'd you come up with something like that? It was inspired by a tale I heard once. It resonated strongly with me, so much so that I explored it in song. I don't know what to say. Bravo. That was impeccable. I'm sure these guys feel the same way. Thank you, Adrian. I do apologize if the subject was a bit too heavy, Axel. It's so sad. Poor guy. It's okay, Ax. It's just a story. Nobody lives forever, except Jesus. I know, but why? Oh dear. It would seem wise if that were the only song I played. I should have chosen something a tad lighter. Yeah, I'd be like, oh come on, Ax. Was like, but I finished a Daster a long time ago. I'm like, I had an emotional breakdown for that one, and I also cried for the end of Winds of Change. Thanks for playing, dude. You're totally amazing. I'm so stoked we got to see it. Or, wait, did he say see it? I mean, okay, listen to it. Yeah, thanks, Ty. That was totally incredible. Whoops, I accidentally clicked to the side. That's my pleasure, gentlemen. A good half hour had passed since Ty's performance, with the vast majority of the time spent trying to distract Axel and cheering him back up. Ty had prepared each of us a piping hot glass of delicious coca, and Russell had worked tirelessly to keep the conversation flowing. In general, our efforts had borne fruit, though our more recent shifts into telling scary stories by the campfire perhaps wouldn't go down as the finest idea we'd ever had. I told a few of the stories he'd accumulated over the years. He'd been asked if anyone else knew any. Nobody spoke up. So, in a skillful demonstration of thinking on my feet, I recalled a nightmare I had several nights prior. And then, his heart was broken by the wonderful words of his lover had spoken. The wolf instead grew distant, or defiant. The man I love would never say such things, he said to himself before proceeding onward into the dimly lit hallways. Oh, that one. Of course, in an attempt to avoid things getting weird, I changed up the species where required and offered no names. Only moments passed before the pathway ahead began to go brighter. Expanding to find his liver, he leapt into the confronting the light source. But instead, it was the raccoon and his simian companion, that of which wore an expression of impatient malice. No, not him again! Looking forward to the group, Ty was smiling gently, his head resting gently in his hand. Oso was leaning forward, thoroughly engrossed in the story, and Axel looked nervous as he anxiously chewed at his claws atop his fingers. I worried I was making things worse, but I was so close to the end of the story, I owed to Russell and Ty to finish what I started. The three passed onward, finally coming to a bright iron door at the end of the path. In a nervous gulp, the wolf and raccoon ventured inside, but what they hadn't noticed was that the simian had closed the door behind them, sealing them inside. Oh no, bad monkey! I briefly acknowledged my amusement. The simian character was Axel's very own stand-in. Thankfully, the real thing was so much sweeter than the version from my nightmare. The raccoon and the wolf explored the room, which turned to be nothing more than an ancient torture chamber, and worse still, the wolf turned, seeing something that made his blood run cold. There, his lover the lion stood bound against the cobblestone wall, his teeth bared with anger. Oh no! I feared for Axel's claws as the chewing accelerated. I had to finish fast, lest he work his way down and begin on his fingers. The raccoon rushed to the lion's aid, then crunch! The lion lunged forward, his bindings having just enough to give his teeth to clamp down on the raccoon's neck. The raccoon slumped to the ground, blood pouring from as he lay. No, not the raccoon. He was my favorite. Damn, dude. That's like some toddler crazy shit, man. Wish I had brought popcorn. The wolf ran to the exit, only to find the door had been sealed, and then suddenly the chain voice catches the wolf's attention. He spins place and bears witness the jet-black raven with the blood-red eyes. I feel like this might catch attention. The raven mocked the wolf as the lion began to growl, his temper on the rise. The wolf came to the terms of his fate. If the raven wanted him dead, there was nothing he could do to stop him. There was no escape. Accepting the inevitability of demise, the raven speaks once more. His time was up. Suddenly, the lion tears free of the bindings. Stomp, 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 then closed on the wolf, unleashing death and roar. And then, everything fades to black. The end. The wolf dies? What about the lion? What happened to him? Did that stupid monkey get what's coming to him? Scary stories don't usually have happy endings, Axe. But, that's not fair! Grr, that monkey needs a good spanking. Do they have that phrase in this universe, spank the monkey? Wait, what? Oh my! I guess they do. Dude, totally don't think that means what you think it does, Axe. What else could it mean? Oso failed to conceal his expression of amusement, but nonetheless decided to answer Axe's question. Axe's general confusion was adorable, and I was thankful that my story hadn't quite scared him as much as I had worried it would. Looking back towards Ty, I noticed him stifle a huge yawn. I reached into my pocket and retrieved my phone. It might be time for us to hit the hay. It's past midnight, and Ty is kind of looking like he's spiked. He might have spiked his mug with cocoa with sleep powder. I can assure you that while this peerless recipe has a way of calming those who consume it, there's no sleeping powder present in the beverage. It's so chocolatey, my dude. What's the recipe? Well, it's water and cocoa powder. That's it. Remind me to give you a copy when I get back to Woodcrest. It is a recipe belonging to a friend of mine, but one I'm sure would approve me sharing. Sweet. Man, I'd better be careful, as I'd drink it every day and get a little fat. Indeed, too much creamer tends to wreak havoc on the waistline. But alas, despite the total absence of sleeping powder, I nonetheless find myself feeling weary. Perhaps it's time to wrap things up and retire for the evening. But wait, what about the monkey? He needs to be spanked. Jeez, thanks Adrian, dude. You got Axe here totally hyped up, and now all you can think about is spanking the monkey. I completely failed to restrain an undignified snort, which in turn set Ty off laughing as well. Good luck, dude. Don't spank your monkeys all night. You'll need your energy for the walk back home. Yeah, make sure he, keeps his hands where I can see him, my dudes. Night. Good night, you two. Ty made his attempt to say goodnight, only to be thwarted by his own laughter once more. Which Russell acts of despair and intent, and Ty had gained some semblance of function. He extinguished the campfire and made our way to the tent. I was just kind of wondering if it's going to be a new day. Seeing the entrance in the tent, nearly all light from the outside, Ty's tent was clearly made of dense, high-quality materials. We blindly attempted to locate our sleeping bags. I lost my bearings somewhat and reached down in front of me, feeling somewhat soft. I'm afraid that's my backside, and not your sleeping bag. Just what I needed, though. A warm, soft pillow. I gave his buttock a mischievous squeeze before resuming my search. Finally located my bag, and made an attempt to squeeze into the opening. It was rather tight fit. Geez, is this a children's sleeping bag or something? I feel wrapped up like a mummy. Oh dear, I'm sorry if it's a little small outside. I did not realize when I packed it. I do hope it's not a problem for you. I mean, I suddenly recalled having seen both our bags. We'd first arrived in camp. The bag belonging to Ty's was much larger than ordinary, but I could have made do with this one. Sure, I could have, but I didn't really want to when I knew the turn would be. It's just too tight. It's kind of hard to breathe. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Do you honestly think I'm that gullible? Come on then. It is rather cold out tonight. I am certain that our combined warmth will benefit us both. I grinned. Now that Ty could see it as I slid my sleeping bag. I crawled over to him, being very careful not to elbow him in the face as it did. Finally, found where... Sorry, my reading ability was crashing. I need to be, and began to get inside when my hand touched full. Odd, he was not lying where I thought he was. I moved my hand around, trying to ascertain the position in the darkness. Moving up, I felt his foot, so I shifted left, fur again. What the? I set my hand further down and felt something. Oh. You're naked, aren't you? Of course. How else would I sleep? Do not tell me you're planning to sleep in your clothing. Only slightly embarrassed, I began to remove my clothing to match Ty's before sliding into the sleeping bag, with Ty finally lining up, so my sheath pressed gently against his cock, both exhaling a small dribble of pre-cum between us. I heard the sound of shifting close to my ear, followed by a satisfied sigh or sniffling. Sniffing? Ah. You smell incredible, my love. Following Ty's example, I took a moment to capture a scent, which had grown ever the more potent as the night pressed onward. So did you, my little house cat. Ty chuckled and wrapped his arms around me tightly, as he nuzzled my nose into a soft fold of his cheek. I felt so very warm, and at ease in his brace, his unique scent serving only to further my feelings of comfort and security. I smiled. If there was such thing as heaven, I had found it in Ty's arms. And with that, we're going to call it. So that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. He was free, frozen still in abject horror. See, I could do what goes between us, slumbering steps. Sorry, I'm trying to speed through this. I mean, reading it, but speeding through it, because it's like, I was about to close this. Come on. In a confused stupor, I gazed downward, cocked completely enveloped Ty's attractive face, who was swelling repeatedly as I shot jet after jet of my thick seed down his throat. His gorgeous violet eyes gazed upward as he drank, locking eyes with mine as a warm smile spread across his face. After a considerable amount of time passed, and the torrent had largely ceased, Ty released me from his toothy maw, my cock flopping limply to the floor with a quiet thud. In accordance to gravity, Ty then scooched up beside me, so that our faces were level with each other, and spoke his first words of the morning. "Good morning, Prince, my prince." Tailing close, the two of us shared a long, passionate kiss, our tongues wrestling with our like entangled serpents, as a strange flavor erupted in my unsuspecting taste buds, the flavor that I could only identify as my very own jizz. It seemed as though Ty had deliberately left just a tiny sample behind in his mouth in anticipation of this very scenario. Typically, I would have found such a sensation deeply appetizing, and yet I kind of wished that that perfect moment would never end. I had my wake-up call was appropriate. It was amazing, but you know, it was really a strange idea of taking things slow. Well, if you're not so irresistible in every conceivable way, perhaps I would be able to make good on my comments. Grinned bashfully at Ty, who was never the incorrigible flirt. Regardless, I still couldn't help but worry a little. Worry that Ty was taking things too quickly, that he was in over his head once again. Last thing I wanted was a repeat of what had only transpired several days before. All of a sudden, I came utterly aware of the scent in the air. It seemed somewhat out of place, as it effortlessly cut through the pleasant aroma of Ty's naked body. "Hey, do you smell that? Is it me you smell? I'm pleased to see that last night inspired you, so you better utilize your nose. I mean, yeah, I've been kind of basking in scent all night now. I love it. But no, I smell something else. You seriously don't smell it? I'm getting a sniff in the air, but not unlike I had done only moments before ago, with his reluctant verdict. Indeed. Oh, sense, my dear. In my defense, my nose had been a little preoccupied with another, more masculine scent this morning. Oh, jeez. Really? Gross. I hope Axel and Russell can't smell me. I really regret not having a shower or anything before coming out here. Diego did suggest it. Well, I would just so happen as cats have an evolutionary solution to your exact problem. Allow me. Ty offered a warm yet mysterious smile and slid down once again, cheekily targeting the most fragrant part of my body. He began lapping slowly at my paws. Then, those same bristles that had been so pleasurable acted not like a comb. Acted not like comb? Sparing Ty's saliva evenly through the fur. Having thoroughly cleaned each and every inch, he progressed upward, his tongue gliding around on the outside of the sheath. It felt incredible, as evidenced by the red tip, and then curiously reared its head in response, only millimeters from Ty's nose. Keep that up, and you'll be getting another protein shot. Ty chuckled before disengaging and turning to his former position beside me, still wearing that mischievous grin. Do not tempt me. Taste this breakfast I had in ages. Though speaking of breakfast, Ty was right. There was food I could smell, almost like eggs. And is that bacon? Indeed, it is. I'd packed an airtight container with both Axel and in both Axel's pack. With both in Axel's pack, and the intention of preparing our breakfast this morning. And yet, it would seem as though somebody had beaten me to the punch. Shall we get dressed and investigate? Yep, let's. The two of us wiggled our way out of our shared sleeping bag, and promptly clothed ourselves, before finally unzipping the door of our tent and venturing out towards our companions in the campsite. Sorry that I've been rushing the last things, because I was waiting for this thing right here. But, hey, it gives you an extra, 40-something minutes? 10 minutes. So that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So, please comment, because I like comment, simply like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out our videos at grow. Please remember to spay near your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io, so I got herbs. But if you want to support people and make this game and get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $5 a month, or $54 a year. And until next time, I'll say, hey, GamerWolfSix, Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. So thanks and see ya.